So hey awesome ones, Heather here. And lately I've been getting some requests for kind of minimalistic makeup, easy to follow. And of course, your wish is my command. Here I am, I've got a video for you. So whether you're even a beginner or maybe you're just trying to get back into makeup again, this tutorial is really easy to follow. So let's go. So it's great that a lot of us can see our friends again after about 2 years. But you know what? It's kind of like a high school reunion, where you really kind of want to look your best. And with these tips, I'm really helping you with the aging process as far as making the makeup look more youthful and also hiding some of our aging imperfections. But before you start with any kind of makeup, it's so important that you have a good skincare regime. So I'm just going to very quickly show you the products that I like. These are all Strivectin products for the neck. It's a serum, there's retinol, there's eye cream, and also the nighttime moisturizer. And you can find them all at amazon.com/shop/awesomeover50. They're in my skincare section. And also at the end of this video, I'm going to put a link to, how I put them all together for you. But let's get started. Let's start with this makeup video for you. But I got to start by taking all my makeup off. So let's go. Right. I know a lot of former models would never show you their bare face, but here I am because I know it really helps a lot of you. Let's start with step number 1, and it's all about the primer. And a lot of you are saying, what the heck is a primer? So my favorite primer is the Strivectin Anti-Blur, Anti-Wrinkle Primer. And of course, I'm going to have the links for you for these products underneath the description and also in the comments. And a little dab will do you on this. You just put a little dab here. And what the primer, if you are asking what the primer is, all it is it's... Think about a wall when you're painting. It's filling in all those little fine lines. And if you're like me, you got lots of fine lines. What I do is I put it really a little bit thicker into, these marionette lines and the 11s up here, because I really want those filled in. And now once I have this on, I have a nice base for my makeup. Now, I use a different kind of primer for my eyes, and this is the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer. And what it does, it just kind of almost looks like a concealer here. And I'll just put a little bit on my fingers. My hands are really clean. A lot of you were asking about that, and I make sure my hands are really clean because a lot of times I use them as a palette. But we're just going to put this on our eyes. And again, it's forming a nice base for my eyeshadow. And it's also going to help my eyeshadow stay in place and not just sort of sink in and look all kind of greasy looking. You know what I mean? I'm just going to go inside the eyes here because it's kind of got a purpley part there and down below. So most of us have these dark circles underneath our eyes, but if you're a little bit older, you don't want to pile on all kinds of concealer because it's really going to emphasize your wrinkles. So I have this Neutrogena, it's called Hydro Boost. And I don't know if you can see, there's concealer and in the middle is moisturizer. My color is light. I'm putting it on with a concealer brush, and it's a nice light coat, but it really helps. Now I got to get into those purpley parts here of my eyes. And then I'm just going to do a fairly light coat underneath my eyes. Okay, bring it out a bit and right like that. So that's a very light coverage. But if you're like me and you've got some things to hide, I love the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye. My color is light fair. It is so, it's thick and covering, but it's not too thick. So I'm going to use a brush like this. And what I want to do a bunch of things. First of all, you see this kind of darkness under here? I need to lighten that up. Just see how gently I'm doing that? Just lightly, just so that the light kind of reflects on it. a little bit. And the same here, just so the light is going to reflect on it a little bit and it won't look as dark. But look at these this is actually an age spot. Boy, I want to get rid of that. So I'm going to go right there. Now don't worry, I know it looks bright, but I'm going to put the foundation over top so I can even everything out. There's another one there, another one there, there, and oh, this one's a mess. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just sort of covering up all those age spots. Oops, I almost forgot. I also go into my marionette lines. Okay, watch this. And into my 11s. You know what I'm talking about when I say the 11s? Just up here a little bit. And again, a little bit more filler and a little bit more lightening up. Now, since some of you are beginners or you're back to makeup again, I thought I would forego the eyeliner. You know, sometimes we're a little bit heavy-handed with the eyeliner anyway, and in many cases it makes us look older. So what I want to show you is this palette. It's fantastic, and it's Revlon Eye Contour Kit. It even shows you on the back, I don't know if you can see that, but how to apply it. And there's actually 4 applicators inside here, which is incredible. So I'm going to do one eye and then I'll do the other eye off camera. But you see this one here, you can tell I love this. And this palette's great for almost everybody too, as far as colors are concerned. All right, so what I want to do is I want to highlight my eyelids. So I'm just going to put a little bit like this on my eyelid. There we go. And then I'm going to use the other pointy part and go into this brown here. So let me just, and if you have hooded eyes, you just want to bring it out to about here. There we go. Okay. And then what we want to do is we want to go underneath the brow. Look at how easy peasy this is. All right. And again, I'll have links for this for you in the comments and under the description. So I'm just highlighting there. Now, this is when it gets a little tricky. I'm using the pointy part of the second one, and I'm going into this dark part. Now, this is gonna be a little tricky. Now, I'm gonna put a little bit under here, being very, very careful. A little bit here, all right? And now what I'm going to do is put a little bit in the crease. Just like that, okay? I sound like a school teacher when I'm doing it, just like that. Okay, now you're going, oh, okay, Heather, that looks a mess. Well, I'm going to suggest, and I will have this in the links, you're gonna need some blending brushes, all right? Because with any kind of applicator, it's just not gonna go on smooth, and you need to blend, blend, blend. So think of a windshield washer. You're gonna blend. Back and forth and back and forth and back and forth into there, and a little bit bringing it outwards. Okay, and then this kind of brush, and you'll get it. It's there. We have a whole kit for you that you can see. I'm going to blend along here so that there's no real sharp definition between the two. You can see how that's starting to look a little bit nicer now. And then this one, we're just going to bring it out a little bit. A little bit up here, and there you go. It's nice and natural looking. All right, 2 eyeshadows done. Now it's time for some mascara. I'm using the CoverGirl Exhibitionist Mascara in black brown. I love this. I love this mascara, and it's really comparable to some of the high-end designer ones I used to use. What I'm going to do, what I usually do, is I put on 3 coats of mascara and only 1 on the bottom. So I'm just going to put on 1 coat now, and then I'll do the other ones off camera. But basically, you want to start at the bottom of your eyelashes, work your way up. I'm not going to do the bottom yet because I haven't got my my foundation on. So there you go, and I'll do some more layers off camera. Now my concealer has all dried now. Time for the foundation. I'm using Shiseido Synchro Skin Glow, and it really is a beautiful foundation. My color is rose, and I'm just going to do a couple of squirts here. using clean fingers, of course. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to dab, you know those spots where I had those, I put on that concealer? Well, I want to just sort of dab this a little bit on there, a little bit underneath here. Remember all those spots, right? And we're going to just do that, okay? But for the rest of my face, I can just sort of put it on with my fingers. I'm not teaching you how to use a blending brush or anything like that. I just want this to be easy peasy, as I said. Maybe pat a little bit on those spots that I had for the 11s. My nose is pretty good, so I can just sort of completely apply that. Maybe the odd freckle or two. I still have some freckles. All right, underneath here, very, very lightly, especially if you have the vertical lines. You want to go light on that. And down the marionette lines, of course. Dab it a little bit there. And a little bit on these marionette lines. Oh gosh. And what they name them, right? You know, jowls and marionette lines. Okay. All right. So I'm going to use what's left. I did a couple of squirts here, and I'm just going to kind of blend that in nicely with my fingers. Okay. Just around that spot there. Now you might be saying to yourself, Heather, why don't you get rid of those spots? There's maybe something you can do. I actually keep them for you so that if you have them, yes, by all means, look into getting rid of them. But I know there's a lot of women that, you know, don't want lasers or anything like that. So I just want you to show you how we can cover them up. All right, so we've got to let the foundation dry. Let's work on our brows, and the brows really do highlight our eyes. So just with my fingers, I'm going to brush up my barely there brows, and I'm going to use a stencil. Talk about easy peasy. This is the way to do it. And basically what you do with the stencils, you do get some powder. So, oh, that's the wrong end. All right, with this brush, I'm going to just kind of fill in my brows here. Hopefully I get it right on camera here. There you go. See what I'm doing there? And then I just make sure I use the right end. Go inside. I've drawn in my brows now. Da 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 da! I have brows, yay! And isn't that easy? Now, all I do now is I'm using the Maybelline Clear Lash Mascara, and I want to make sure that that powder really stays in place for the rest of the day. And ta-da! Look at the difference. Now I'm going to work on this one. So I just finished up the other brow. I put another layer of top mascara. And hey, by the way, if you're kind of liking these videos, don't forget to subscribe, and thank you to every one of you that are subscribing. And also don't forget to click on the bell and you'll be notified when my videos are out. Now, before I put on the bottom lash mascara, I want to make sure that, because it just has concealer here, I set it. So what I'm going to use is the Revlon translucent powder, and just a little bit here with this little brush that comes with it. And I'm just going to lightly just go underneath to set that before I put on the mascara. Now, let's talk about the blush. I can put the mascara on later off camera. And what I'm using for my blush, believe it or not, easy peasy, right? I'm using Bronze Goddess from Estee Lauder. My color here is 02 medium. But it's not really like a bronzer. It's more pinky when it goes on. So I'm going to use this for blush and contouring and everything, and using a brush like this. So what am I talking about? All right, well, let's contour a little bit. All right, I'm just going to contour with this brush down a little bit here. And then kind of just on my cheeks here, a little bit of color. I need a little bit of color there. And again, because I've set this with powder, I can put it underneath my eyes, here and here. And I think I just need a little touch more. Hold on for a second. Yeah, it's just not going the way. There we go. A little bit of color there down here. And also a little bit on the jowls, okay, to hide those a little bit. And also down our nose. Our nose actually grows as we get older. And there. One stop for all the contouring and blush. Now we have a nice glowy makeup, but we could add a little bit of highlighter. And I just bought this. This is the Master Chrome Metallic Highlighter, and it's from Maybelline, and this color is 100. So what I'm going to do, and it's as good as the expensive one, so I'm just going to put it here, a little bit here, a little bit here, just to kind of add a little bit of glow here, and also a little bit of glow there and there. And now for our lipstick. All right, so I love this lipstick. It's from Revlon. It's wine with everything, and wine does go with everything, I think. All right, so I'm not even gonna put a lip liner. I'm just gonna be very, very careful and show you what you can do with the lipstick. I kind of start in the middle, work my way out. Okay, I'm just gonna use my mirror for a second here, because I want to get right into the corner here. And there you go. It's a beautiful color, and it just goes with everything, just like wine. So, all right, so here I am. I'm pretty well done, and I do want to take a look, though. I'll just take my hair out a little bit. I do want to take a look at what I look like with the before and the after. So let's take a look now. So notice the evenness of the skin and the youthful glow that it has, and those eyes. The eyes they're so much more youthful. They're less tired looking. And you know what? A lot of times we speak with our eyes, and this entire makeup, I can put it on in like less than 5 minutes. And really just think about that for a second. It's a very small investment in time, but it really enhances you, and it does make you feel a little bit more youthful. So, you know, I've done a lot of these makeup tutorials, and I gotta say, I really, really try hard to read most of the comments and reply back to you. And so many of you have said that you're getting noticed. You're trying some of my eye makeup or some of the whole makeup, and people are noticing. One woman even said to me that she tried the makeup on, and her son, her grown son, noticed her makeup. And I've got 2 grown sons, so I know that's really, really a compliment. So I'm here. I'm here to really help you with your makeup, with self-care, with some fashion. And I really, truly, truly want you to just look at the mirror, look in the mirror as you're walking out the door and go, I look good and I feel good, because that's what it's all about. You know, we're on this aging journey together, but we can make it hopeful, we can make it joyful, and by all means, we can keep it awesome.